That's one of the questions. What about access to Stewart Airport?
And what's happening?
That's wait, so that's what I'm writing to Brian about, because there's supposed to be an open house that's being held next week. So I'm asking him for an update on that. And
Okay.
also to see if we can meet to go over upcoming projects. But from what I recall from my days of not too long past, the proposal was gonna be to continue and improve the bus service and retain a right of way that would not preclude future rail service.
To Stewart Airport?
Yes, but that's 6 months ago, 8 months ago, so I don't know if that's changed, but that's why I'm asking
All
Brian.
right, so if the meeting is, just let me know, I'll come.
I'm finding
Well-
out.
Okay.
I'll tell you a little bit of interesting history, Lisa. Way back in 1996, they were first looking at what sort of rail to build over the Hudson River. That was the first time they started thinking about the replacement for the Tappan Zee Bridge. And alternative 6, which was actually recommended by the Journal News, was a rail bridge between Newburgh and Beacon. And I still think that that is a great idea, because not only could it handle passenger trains, so trains could come from Grand Central and go into Stewart Airport, but it would connect with the Port Jervis line, so they would have access on the west side of the Hudson. But also, somebody, if they really wanted to push it, have the New York State Bridge Authority finance the whole thing.
So my understanding is that that's not gonna happen at this time,
No, it's not,
so,
but here's the
where
thing,
good ideas go to die.
but here's the thing, no. Is if we put pressure, why can't the Bridge Authority build it and for the railroad and then have it? It's not it's a crazy idea, but it could just work.
Well, let's see what, I know that they looked at a number of different scenarios and proposals, and they did a whole, deep dive into service, and numbers and cost and things like that, so nobody's got money right now, sadly.
Well, it's like this, they're gonna raise, somehow they're gonna raise the bridge, tolls on the Mario Cuomo Tappan Zee Bridge, whatever you wanna call it. They haven't decided what that's gonna be, but the New York State Bridge Authority still charges $1.50 to go over the Bear Mountain Bridge or the Newburgh Beacon Bridge and all that other stuff.
Right.
So-
Okay, all right. If there's nothing else,
Why don't you tell us about the meeting this morning?
oh, it was very with the rotating chair and vice chair of the Gateway Development Corporation, GDC, Steve Cohen and Jerry Zarrow and this other fellow, Steve Sackler, I think his name was Frank Sackler. They just talked about how they're getting the funding and how serious the condition of the 108-year-old tunnels are, and that it's 20% of the regional economy that
Which is
would
very
be affected
important.
if something happened. And they need to, and they're working already on New Jersey has contributed money, and there's got some money in the last legislation that was the continuing resolution for the Congress passed last week.
650 million.
Yeah, but it's called something different than what it is, so
Right.
that they get the money for it, and they're already doing work on it.
Great, and
They
they,
had a north at the Portal North Bridge, which is only gonna be 2 tracks, but this is what they can do right now.
did you say the portal bridge?
Portal North Bridge, so I
Right.
guess they're planning a Portal South Bridge eventually, if, maybe not in our lifetime, but they are doing work.
It sounded as though they had broken the project into more bite-sized pieces, manageable pieces, so that they could get funding
Yeah, but
for.
the big thing
You're
is they're
probably
waiting
right.
for the government to give the record of decision on the environmentals, which they
Right.
got done in 22 months instead of 4 years. So they really, but it's just the political climate in Washington, starting with the White House, that's given a lot of grief to the whole thing.
Right,
And what they're saying about the Portal Bridge is that if the trains don't have to slow down to go over the bridge,
right.
they can have more throughput.
And also if the bridge doesn't get stuck open.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
they're restricted to 60 miles an hour going over the bridge. I think it's quite a nice speed, but the speed
Right.
limit is much higher in the area.
So what will be interesting is, I'm sure that you saw the article about the federal government trying to recoup the money from California.
Oh, yes,
I heard about
absolutely.
that today.
And that perhaps, it's speculated that it could conceivably be tied to the fact that California
Yes,
led
this
the
is-
lawsuit into
Yes,
the
oh
border
yeah,
wall.
definitely.
Yes,
So New York isn't is signed on to that lawsuit, I'm
One of
gonna
16
imagine
states.
that New Jersey did as well.
Yes, they do.
So the question and probably concern
We may
would
get
be
punished also.
that, is that money gonna get, that 650 million gonna get removed? Or is it buried so deeply that nobody is gonna be able to
What
do it?
happened years ago when New Jersey Transit decided not to build?
No, they didn't decide to do it, it was the governor who decided not
Whatever,
to
it's
do
New
it.
Jersey, okay.
Don't blame
Okay,
the
okay,
president,
forget
it's
it,
the
that's
governor.
not my point. They were supposedly had to give back the
They
money.
did, not
they did.
And so why isn't California? They're saying California won't have to.
Well,
Because they said it's
they're not
California.
saying that, so the article that I was reading today said California still intends to build high-speed rail, but it's gonna look different or be managed differently. So that's, their project is still focused on moving ahead, but it's not gonna be the exact same, so.
And that's what the money was based on. The amount of money was the total cost of the job.
What you can't do, which they did in New Jersey, was take that money and put it into roads and bridges. That had nothing to do with
That's what
transit.
New Jersey did?
But they didn't get it all back. They do
No.
a settlement.
Yeah,
Right.
they negotiated it.
$2 billion.
Yeah, some of the money was dispersed around the country to different agencies.
that was true, but what
We
happened?
all wanted a piece of that.
Oh,
When they
sure.
killed ARC though, okay, the New Jersey governor took $2 billion out of the Port Authority bond money and used it to fix up the Pulaski Skyway. That was actually a misuse of the funds.
Right.
And that's what happened. So it's that, but they did return money to the federal government, and the federal government did use it
Yeah,
in other
Sunrail
locations.
got some of the money, I remember.
Right, and I think
Sunrail
also some of it went
Orlando
to
got
Houston
some of the
also.
money.
You know, I know, but they didn't get all their money back.
They got,
That's
no,
what
there was
it
always
settled.
negotiated.
And they also didn't have to give it back to where years. It was doled out over
Yeah.
so many years.
But quickly on that too, is that theoretically, some of the engineering that was still left over from that project is supposed to help out in some ways, the new Gateway Bridge.
Sure, well, it's like the Second Avenue subway tunnels that started getting built in 1929.
1970s.
20s.
No, there was
Oh,
nothing dug, nothing was dug
they-
until the
They were
70s.
just planning and
Yeah,
planning
no, the
and
70s.
promises.
There were several sections.
Yeah. So.
All right,
It helps.
anybody else have anything before I call it in so we can get out of here before the snow gets really bad up?
I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
you know, I've been through a few executive directors and, Lisa, I gotta tell you, I'm so impressed how active, engaged, and informed you are on all these, issues. It's great to have you.
Thank you.
Can we see you on the 7th? Can you make a point to try and come to our quarterly meeting?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We'll save you a seat, we'll even buy you lunch.
I'll tell you, there is one thing that's down, and Randy and I are very unhappy about this. The New Jersey Transit Board meetings are now, the next 4 meetings are now at 6 o'clock in the evening. And immediately, in Newark, and then immediately they go out in executive session for an hour. And this.
What's a half hour?
Whatever it is, and it's, the only way it says it stinks. And when Randy checked into it, there's a state law now, right, Randy?
Yeah, new public license, new public law.
So they really
It was
handle it.
reconstituting the board by putting,
Oh, yes, a writer representative.
that hasn't happened yet, but they was very quick to change the meetings. All right, so if there's nothing else, call for, make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, good.
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you very much for your time, I appreciate Rich and I appreciate Francis.
Well, stay home, everyone.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. You